Hello everyone, this is Radwa from CxO Global Forum. CxO Global Forum is a knowledge sharing platform that helps in business and networking opportunities. Today we have a really amazing guest, Sir Khuram Rahat, Senior Country Director at Unifonic. Sir, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Alhamdulillah, thank you for inviting me to be part of this show.
Sir, thank you for being here. So we'll just get into it. Please tell us about your journey. Where did it all start from?
If I come to my semi-professional journey, though I graduated from IBA Karachi, I did my bachelor's from there, और उसके बाद I did my master's from IBA in 1988. Then I had a brief spell of teaching at IBA before I joined NCR, which are the leaders as far as the self-service ATM are concerned, or the retail systems are concerned. And I started my career with them, and my career with them was spanning almost 28 years. Started looking after the sales side, moved to Islamabad, started my career in Karachi, moved to Islamabad, started working with the banking industry, was able to help with one of the leading banks launch the first online banking service, online self-service self-service banking systems, online branch banking system. Then in 1998, I was tasked to introduce the concept of data warehousing and Teradata into Pakistan. So I launched Teradata into Pakistan. Then at that time, the government, after the census, was looking to create a national database, and I got involved and was part of the initial thought process in terms of creating what today is NADRA, National Database Registration Authority. So I was involved in the initial writing the concept paper, the idea, then building on that idea, and then subsequently we were able to, once the government went ahead and through the tendering process, select NCR. So Teradata was primarily a division of NCR, so Teradata won the project. And then I was responsible for the initial setup of the data warehouse for Nadra, and we actually ran the operations for more than 3 years before we handed over the data warehouse and the network part to the Nadra management, including most of the technical team which was involved. And then I've been involved in. I was tasked to also basically develop the market for NCR in the emerging market. So that included Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. So I was involved in developing that market, developing the networking business there, the contact center business. And then in 2006, I was made responsible for the Teradata business for Teradata for NCR. And then after divestiture of Teradata as an independent company, I started heading it for the region from 2007 till 2017. And then I decided to look for different pastures. So joined Telenor and started their data monetization line of business, set it up for them, conceptualized it, set it up for them, started running successfully. And then I joined the only premium partner of AWS in the region. It was a US-based company called NorthPay. So set up their operations for Pakistan as well as for Middle East. And then for the last 9 months, I've been working with Unifonic. Unifonic is one of the leading conversations management, customer experience management solution. They've been a big player in the Middle East region, and in their quest to go global, they were looking at different markets. and they felt Pakistan, with its large population and emerging IT scenario, was an e-commerce business was probably a very good candidate for them to venture into. So for the last 10 months plus, I've been involved with Unifonic, setting up the organization, starting the commercial operations. And I've been, we've already started the operations, seen some early success. So that's the professional career. In addition to that, I've been involved with in different capacities with different organizations, including government. I'm currently vice chairman of Pakistan Software Housing Association. I'm also part of the steering committee of National Cloud Computing and Big Data Computing, as well as I've been advisor to Fauji Foundation, which is the largest conglomerate in Pakistan for IT. I was advisor to the board. Uh, there's a long list, but I think I should stop here.
That sounds like the one most wonderful career experience I've ever heard. But we'll get more into that. How is your experience in Uniphonic and the past companies different from one another? Did you feel a huge difference, or is it all the same?
So it's an interesting thing. So when I was at Teradata or at Telenor, we were talking about data warehousing, building analytics, creating insights to be able to then reach out to the customers, improve customer experience. Now, Uniphonic is the extension of what I've been doing in the past, in the sense that we're at Teradata and at Telenor, we were kind of creating those insights which can be used for customer engagement. Unifonic provides a platform which is very interesting in terms of enabling actually using the data to reach out to the customers, help the B2B organizations reach out to their customers, engage with them in an effective way, and manage conversations across different platforms. So, from that point of view, moving from kind of back end analysis to front end operational delivery and ensuring a high standard of customer experience and connectivity is what Uniphonic does. So it's something which I've been propagating for the last 20-25 years. Now I'm getting a chance to actually work with organizations to make sure that taking advantage of that background knowledge, those analytics, how they can effectively actually reach out and effectively interact with the customers. And it's all based on AI technology, so which is again very interesting. And we manage not only in terms of the conversations platform, but we have a very interesting product line which is looking to revolutionize the customer engagement when it comes to voice based
Yeah. So leaning more into that, keeping the whole changing of market and everything in mind, the digital transformation that's taking place, what do you think the next 5 to 10 years of Uniphonic look like?
So it's my personal opinion, but I see the way the industry is growing, and the way the industry is, or if you look at the competitive landscape. So what is happening is all the products and services are more or less becoming commoditized, whether it is banking service, whether it is telecom service, whether it is e-commerce service. And the real differentiator is the customer experience management. And we see more and more growing focus of organization in managing those interactions, managing the customer experience, and ensuring the customer loyalty. And that's the play Uniphonic is in. So I see from our perspective a very good opportunity in this area, not just for Uniphonic, but whosoever are the players. But definitely, we at Uniphonic are looking to harness and ensure that we are able to help our customers, improve their own customer experience, and if I may use the term, work towards customer delight. A lot of people talk about customer
Yeah.
satisfaction. I think the real difference is that you move beyond satisfaction to customer delight. And that's where, if you really look at whatever is happening today, customer is they used to say customer is the king. In today's environment, the customer is really becoming the king. And more importantly, I think, we talk about digital transformation, we talk about disruptions, we talk about innovation. To me, the real disruptor is the customer, because the way the customers now are demanding in terms of, they want to be actually exposed to the products and services which they like, rather than getting spammed by whatever they may not be interested in. They want to be reached out through the medium of their choice, which means their preference, whether it is Twitter, whether it is Facebook, whether it is Instagram, whether it's WhatsApp. And then they want to be reached out at the time of their choosing. And that's what it is all about: managing conversations and ensuring effective conversations. So that's how I see the future, and that's where I see organizations like Unifonic, which focus on these areas. They have a very bright future, and I think there is immense time and R&D being invested in ensuring how we can actually excel in that area.
That's true, and that's a wonderful answer. So we'll get into a little separate, a different kind of an area with somebody of your expertise, with somebody of your experience. People would love to know that the kids who are just starting their careers, they don't know what to do with their lives. What kind of advice would you give them?
So I think that's a very interesting point you've raised. In today's environment, not just today, but even when I was a kid, one big challenge was, really understanding what career choices to make. And when I was growing up, the choices were still far and few, but still there was confusion. So, you would either become a doctor. When you were growing up, your parents would say you will become a doctor or an engineer, or an architect, or maybe go into teaching, or go into, let's say, armed forces. In today's environment, because of the overall the way the economic scenario has evolved, there are so many different career options. And
Yep.
and from that perspective, it really becomes a challenge for the youth, and at times confusing as to which career field to go in. And one interesting, now that you've asked this question, one interesting venture where I've been involved in terms of mentoring and supporting, is that I work with and support a company which basically is into AI-driven career advisory service. So it really helps assess a child, and it is anywhere, when they're in the formative years, so which means 13, 14 years to the university level kids. They can actually use the help of AI, and in a conversational mode, they are able to, the AI bot is able to, by talking to them, asking questions, is able to assess their overall aptitude, their overall attitude, and then guide and support the children in terms of what different career options they may be suitable for. As the advisory is, it's not a test, so there are tests which says, a lot of people say that, okay, you should be a doctor, or you should be an engineer, or you should be a sales guy. That's, to me, is not career advisory. Career advisory is all about trying to understand what the child wants, and then advising him or her in terms of, if they were to, what is their likelihood of success, and if they were to still follow it, what are some of the steps they need to take, what should they expect. Because I'll give you an example. In our country especially, a lot of females, young females, they go into civil engineering, and when they graduate and they go for jobs, they realize that it involves a lot of field work. And that is the time the realization comes that they may not want to spend so much time working at construction sites, bridges, building roads. So that is the time when that realization comes, and it's important that not only the child understands, what they are, what career options there could be, what could be suitable for them, but they should also understand what to expect when they eventually complete their formal education and enter into professional life. What are the career choices they'll be after they pursue this degree, and more importantly, how a typical day would be. And that's where I've talked about this company, and they have a website, and it's being now used by, I think, uh, youth from over 100 countries. It's called My Career Dreams, and they're, any child age 13, 14 and above can go and get career advisory over a period of time.
It's wonderful. That's the best thing we can do for the young people because that's something we're lacking in. So getting more into that, the kind of experience that you have, being on a senior role, what kind of attributes do you think are important, in being a leader?
So two things. I will come to the leadership part later. First of all, when I'm interviewing people, when I'm looking to hire people, I look for two things, and I believe those are the most important thing. One is that I look for the aptitude in the
Yeah.
candidates, the aptitude to learn, aptitude to explore things. And the second most important thing is the attitude, which is the attitude towards, again, wanting to learn new things, wanting to explore things, but more importantly, attitude towards being a team player, attitude, having the right attitude or the positive attitude of, uh, making things happen. I think at the end of the day, a lot of us procrastinate, a lot of us come up with excuses why something cannot be done. And then there are others who understand what the challenges are, and then they have the attitude which says that, okay, these are the challenges, and let me see how I can bypass those challenges or overcome those challenges, but then achieve the target. And I think that also is very important for being a leader, because at the end of the day, leaders are the ones who find ways of making things happen, and they have the right attitude, because at the end of the day, a leader has to make sure that they have the right team. A leader may not be Mr. Know-it-all, but he
Yeah.
should understand what are the requirements for him to succeed, whether it is a commercial organization or whether it is a non-profit organization, or whether it is a government body, or even politics. But the key thing is, you need to be able to, and then that is, again, you need to be able to inspire people, but then make sure that you surround yourself with the people who are experts in different field, who are natural team players, and who share your vision, and who are committed to making things happen. So I think from a leader perspective, this is one very important thing. A lot of times you have seen, we talk about whether in countries or in organizations, we always say this guy was a great leader, but once he was gone, the organization or whatever, the tribe, the country they were leading, it kind of fell away, everything fell apart. And that's where I believe the most important value or attribute of a leader should be that he or she should not only be leading, but then they are able to make sure that whatever they are creating, they create an infrastructure, they create a foundation, they create a team which is able to then take it forward. So sustainability, I think, is something which is should be an essential part of leadership.
That's true. That's true. Leaning more into that, do you think a leader is born or do you think that a leader can be made?
I personally believe a leader can be made. They may be born with certain traits, But I think a lot of time it is the circumstances which are there. It is the right kind of environment, and then again, more importantly, going back to my last point, right kind of team which helps create harness or polish that leadership. So it's very important. So some people have those things inborn. At the same time, making sure that those leadership qualities are kind of identified, brought to the fore, and then more importantly, as I said, the point that leaders can be made by providing them with the right support, the right
Yeah,
environment, and the right team.
yeah, that's true. So we'll get into a bit of, lighter questions. Please tell me, how do you unwind after work? Do you have any set of hobbies or, something like that?
So interestingly enough, one hobby which I have now for the last 15, 18 years is something which helps me start the day. And since I've started indulging in that hobby, I feel much more energized the whole day. So I offer my Fajr prayers and then I go and play golf. And I think going out in the open, being among, in the nature, having a competitive game of golf, meeting with friends, energizes me the whole day. So that's something which starts. Oh, and then I think when I go back, it is my family, spending time with my family, with my kids. I'm a grandfather, so whenever I get chance to be with my grandson, that to me is the most important unwinding thing for me, relaxes me.
That's the best kind of thing. So, do you have any, set of hobbies that, people, if they heard about, they would be surprised?
I mean, I don't think so. Over the period of time, I used to play cricket. I used to play squash. I mean, listening to music is a hobby. I was very much into, palmistry, numerology, astronomy.
That's
That
wonderful.
was one passion which I had. Don't get much time now, and not many people know about it. But yes,
Yeah,
some
that's
solving problems is something which intrigues me, and that's one hobby I have. I try to wherever I see anything challenging, I try to get involved.
And what is the one thing or, many things that motivate you to show up to work every day?
So I think the most important thing is that the feeling that I should go out and try to make a difference at whatever I'm doing. So whether it was with Teradata, with Telenor, now with Unifonic, I think what drives me is, trying to make a difference to whatever I do, and trying to make a difference for people around me, whether those are my colleagues, my friend, my family member. So I think that's the biggest motivator for me. That if I'm going out, I should be helping people. I should be, whether even if it's customers, I should try to be of just find ways of how I can support people in whatever capacity I can.
Being kind is the most important thing. So, looks like we're getting to the end. So, please tell me, what do you think about the utility of CXO Forum?
I think it's a very good forum. I've been part of it. I've been following it, and so it does provide a very good opportunity for exchange of ideas, exchange of thoughts, sharing of successes, sharing of things happening around us, especially in the corporate sector, and then getting to hear stories of people who've been successful, how they've been successful, what they think, what they do differently. So I think it's a very good learning and sharing platform, and I always appreciate whenever I receive a message, a communication from CXO, the kind of activities they've been involved in, and I think, as I said, you get to interact with people, you get to interact with people and understand not only their successes but the challenges they highlight, and I think the collective wisdom on the six forum is something which uh, can further be enhanced, and can be put to use, not only for the corporate world but even for the society, I would say.
Yeah, that's true. Sir, thank you so much for saying that, and thank you so much for being here. It was wonderful talking to you, and thank you for your time.
It was my pleasure, and I'm really grateful for CXO for this opportunity, and thank you once again.
Thank you for being here, sir. It was wonderful, and you have a good day.
You too. Allah Hafiz.